What's up and welcome back to another video. Guys, today I'm going to be answering some of your questions. As always, if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next installment of this series, let me know down below in the comment section of this video and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. One asked, what is my favorite battle pack of all time? And there are actually quite a few in this number one spot, or at least in the running for the number one. But I think my top three that are all kind of in contention for my favorite have to be, first off, the Kashyyyk Trooper battle pack. It's just one of my favorites. I think that might be the closest to the number one, but two that come very close is that 2008 just Clone Trooper battle pack. I forget the name of it. I think it might just be called the Clone Troopers battle pack, but that one, so iconic, very nostalgic for that one as well. And then the Utapau Troopers battle pack is also up there as one of my favorite, but I do think that my number one, my favorite all-time battle pack would have to go to the Kashyyyk Troopers. It's actually I don't know, I just love that one. I think the Kashyyyk Troopers are some of my favorite clone troopers as well, so I think that kind of ties into why I think that it is my favorite. And I actually don't own this one. I've been meaning to pick one up for a good price. At some point I want to get all of the good battle packs at some point, but that point is not right now or in the near future. But I would say my favorite is probably the Kashyyyk Trooper battle pack. Our next question comes from Blaze, and they ask, what set is better for you to get, the ATTE or the gunship? And I am fortunate enough to actually own both of these sets, and I'll give you the quick rundown. For me, there is a pretty clear-cut winner here, not even looking at the minifigs, because I don't have them on hand right now. They are stored away, but I think just build-wise, I would have to go with the ATTE, as well as minifig-wise. I think the ATTE is just better value than the gunship. And also, another big thing is that the ATTE is going to be retiring before the gunship, so you can buy the ATTE now, and then if you're able to save up the money to get the gunship as well, then you can get that one. You'll have longer. I don't think that it's going to be retiring for it'll be out for at least another year, I think. Well, the ATTE is on the tail end of it being on shelves, and personally, I just think the ATTE is just a very, very good set. Not only are you getting the Commander Cody, the 212th, the Gunner, as well as the droids and the Spider Droid, versus here you're getting the Palpatine, the Padme, the Fox, and the two shock troopers. I just think that the ATTE, in my opinion, is a better set, a better value, and also it's more of a limited time for you to get it versus when the Coruscant Guard gunship is going to be on shelves for longer than the ATTE will. Boy301 asks, why do I think that we have not gotten the Bad Batch Season 3 sets yet? And to be honest, I have no clue. I think it probably just wasn't on LEGO's radar, I guess, when they were coming out. It's not to say that we can't see them in the future. I know LEGO doesn't necessarily have to put them out with the show. They've done that with sets in the past where they're just kind of one-off out of nowhere. But I do think it might have to do with the hype going into Bad Batch Season 3 wasn't as high as the hype after the Bad Batch Season 3. So that might have been something to do with it. They also might have just, Disney might have just not, had them make any, because I'm pretty sure Disney has that kind of deal with LEGO where Disney will say what they want the sets to be made. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure that that does have something to do with it. So it's probably just something like that. Now, I would love to see them come, because I think there are some great ideas, great sets, and great minifigures that we could get from the Bad Batch Season 3 that I'm sure a lot of people would love to see. The TK Troopers, the Commandos, some of the cool Imperial Troopers as well as just some of the really cool vehicles that we got. Now, I do hope that they're going to be coming out in the future, but I doubt that we'll actually get a wave of a bunch of them. But I would be surprised if we didn't get at least one one-off set at some point in the future. Space Age Penguin asks, do I think that we'll see the Range Trooper in next year's U-Wing, given that they're supposed to be returning for the second season of Andor? And I think that there is definitely a possibility. I'm not sure what where the U-Wing is kind of taking place, what's going to be the story behind that set. But I do think that it is possible to see the Range Trooper come out in some of the Andor sets to come, given, they already have made it. LEGO made the Range Trooper before, and I think it's a very good minifig. I know that's a highly desired one. So I feel like it wouldn't be hard for LEGO to remake it and put it into one of those sets. I think it is just kind of a matter of how many sets they do for the second season of Andor, because we did only get one for the first season. So, I'm looking like we're only going to be getting two for the second season, being the buildable K2SO as well as the U-Wing. Not to say that we can't get more in the future, but personally, I would love to see the Range Trooper. I think it's a sick minifig, and it's very expensive right now, so it's not really one that is very accessible to a lot of people. So I would love to see a remake. I'm not sure if it would come out in the U-Wing, but I do think that there's definitely a potential to see it get reintroduced at some point in the future. Commander Thorn Studios asks, what are my thoughts on the rumored $50 clone turbo tank, and do I think it is the wrong price or a fake rumor? Now, I do think all of those rumors that came out, the UTAT, the turbo tank, and all of those other stuff, aren't necessarily the most, like, I don't think they're set in stone yet. I know a lot of people are kind of saying that they're, 100% confirmed, it's coming out, but they're rumors at this stage. I wouldn't even really consider them leaks yet, but I do hope that they are all true, and, you know, we'll see what happens with them. The rumors like this in the past have all been proven wrong before. Not to say that they are fake, because they've also come to fruition before. It's just, I feel as of right now, it's kind of like a 50-50 if they're going to actually be these sets that we're going to be getting, but I do think that the turbo tank will be $50. I mean, there's a chance that it was mixed up in like the pricing and the piece count and stuff like that. However, from what I've heard, from what I've seen, it's going to be based on Rebuild the Galaxy, which is going to make it probably seem more likely that it would be a $50 set aimed toward the younger audience of LEGO, which, you know, would make it a smaller build for cheaper. Now, I would love to see the turbo tank make its way in a play scale or even a UCS Juggernaut. I'm surprised that we haven't got the play scale back yet. I think it would be great, especially for the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, getting the turbo tank on Kashyyyk. You know, it's just such an iconic set. We've gotten it before, and I think that we should definitely get it again. But do I think that it is necessarily a fake rumor? Not really. I do have hope that these rumors that we got were true. It's just, you know, I can't be 100% sure, especially nowadays. And also, I don't think that it would be incorrect at the $50 point. Unfortunately, I would love if that was incorrect and it was actually like a play scale or something bigger like that. But I do think that it is going to be a smaller, scaled down version aimed toward the younger audience of LEGO. If asked what do I think about LEGO investing, I think there's definitely some conflicting opinions with this in the LEGO community, but I think it's interesting. I think with most LEGO sets, when they retire, they're going to go up in value. Yeah, there's some that, you know, just don't because they're, well, frankly, bad sets. But I feel like for most part, most sets it's going to be, once they're off shelves, there's going to be a higher demand and less supply. So they're going to be going for more. So I think it is a good thing. You know, if you want to, like, I don't know, buy some LEGO and you want to sit on it and you want to, you know, make a little money in the future, I think it's a fine thing to do. Because when you think about it, if people didn't LEGO invest, then it wouldn't be as easy to get some sets on the aftermarket as it is now. Yes, they would be maybe cheaper, but like if I wanted to buy a Palpatine's Arrest and there weren't people that bought a bunch sealed to sit on them, it would be almost impossible for me to find a sealed one like just readily available on eBay or something like that. But also for like the current sets, I'm trying to think of one from recent history, the Republic fighter tank, you know, that was at Target and it went on sale for like $25 on Black Friday a year or two ago now, and that was one that, you know, kind of exploded in price at, well, not exploded, but now it goes for like $50, which is double, you know, very, very good on an investment if you had bought a bunch of those. But personally, I'm not one to really like look out for LEGO investing. I'm not really buying stuff for investments. Like sometimes like I'll pick something up and be like, I'll just sit on it, keep it sealed, and maybe sell it later on or use it for like the trade for something. But it's not really something that I do actively, but I do think that it is a good thing for the LEGO community. I know like maybe not in some like cases, but I do think for the most part it is more beneficial than it is harmful. And Low Taper Fade asks, when do I think that LEGO will make the Phase 1 regs? And I think it definitely is something on their radar. I do love the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. I honestly, I think I might like them a little bit more than the Phase 2 Clone Troopers, to be honest, especially the Clone Wars version. But I do think that getting the regs is something that's going to happen soon, not in the 2008 Clone Wars style. I don't actually think that we'll ever get those again, but in the Episode 2 style. And I would say at the latest, we're going to see them for the anniversary of Attack of the Clones. There's no way that we don't get some sets for the anniversary of the Attack of the Clones. It would be I would be very surprised if we didn't get them before then, but I think definitely we'll be getting them then as well. And I would love to see them make a comeback. I do think that the Phase 2 just sells better for LEGO. That's why that they do it so much more than the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. But I do think that the Phase 1 Clone Troopers, especially as of right now, are a bit better than the Phase 2 Clone Troopers that they are making. But nonetheless, I do think that we will see them again very soon in the future. Andrew asks, what is my favorite LEGO Batman set? And I think, although I'm not a huge fan of LEGO Batman, I don't actually own any of these sets, I think there is a clear winner here being the 1989 Batmobile. I think it's such a good build. There's some fire minifigures in there as well. I think the build is just super sleek, super nice, and I'm a big fan of this one. And I was considering buying it a while ago, but I just didn't really end up doing it. But I might be buying it in the future. I'm not sure, but by far this has to be my favorite LEGO Batman set. Sarah has two questions. The first being, what do I think of an Order 66 set with a small part of the Jedi Temple, 3 random Jedi, Anakin, and 2 501st Clone Troopers? And I think this would be a sick set. I think it would definitely be like one of those diorama themed sets. Unfortunately, it seems like the dioramas aren't going to be happening anymore in the future, at least for the near future, which kind of sucks, especially given that it is finally the anniversary of Enter the Sith, and some of the best ideas for dioramas, in my opinion, were based off of this movie. But it's not to say that I don't think an Order 66 set couldn't come out in maybe like a play scale kind of thing where you'd get the small build of the Jedi Temple and then all your minifigures to fight against each other. Do I think LEGO will do it? Maybe not. I think there's a possibility, and I think it would be really cool, but unfortunately, based on the leaks, I don't really think there's more room for any more sets based on the leaks that we've already seen, because all of the slots are pretty much filled up unless they make a whole nother wave of sets. And then your second question is, what is my opinion on the 327th Trooper set in 2025? And that is one that I am super excited for. I love the Star Corp. I love Bly. I know Bly is not necessarily going to be in this set, but if we're getting the Star Corp, I feel like it'd be pretty easy just to make a custom Bly. But I am really hoping that this one is true. I would love to see the 327th make their way in Phase 2 form. I know technically the OG one that we got back in the day, the Commander Cody or just the Star Corp OG Clone Troopers with the helmet visor slits, those are technically, count, but not really in my opinion. I want to see them in the updated current style because we have not gotten them, and I think it would be really cool. And I'm very happy that LEGO is branching out and doing some different Clone Legions, so I'm hoping that this rumor comes true. Our last question for today comes from Jeff, and they ask, what is my least favorite minifigure ever? And I don't really necessarily have any minifigures that I hate, but I will say one that I am not a fan of is the Akbar Trooper from the Jedi Bob's Starfighter. It's not even that it's necessarily a bad minifigure. I think the head printing on this one is very good. I just think it was kind of disappointing that this is what we got when we could have gotten something a lot cooler. Yeah, I know it's based off Rebuild the Galaxy, and that is what appeared in Rebuild the Galaxy. I just feel like it's kind of disappointing, and I don't know, just a clone without the helmet is very disappointing to me. But I mean, not a bad minifigure. It's just definitely not one of my. It's probably one of my least favorites that we've gotten in recent years. Thinking back, I can't really think of any that I don't like. I feel like most of the minifigures are pretty solid, so this one would have to take the cake. And that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, as well as everyone who asked a question. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next installment of this series, let me know down below in the comment section of this video, and I'll try my best to get to them in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. Drew, signing out.